Hey, this is Mattia Babcock, and in this video we're going to talk about what to do if your horse wants to go faster than you do. Now this is Bridger. He's my 4-year-old. He got started last year, and he has quite a big motor, so there are times when he wants to canter off, and I know he's not ready for it because he's young. And say we're like 10 minutes into the ride, he wants to canter. I know he's not ready for it, and also I don't want him cantering off when I'm not asking for it. Even if my horse walks off or trots off and I didn't ask for it, I consider that bolting. I'm just not going to allow that. Granted, it's very minute, but that type of stuff builds. We want to build good habits into our horse. So I'm going to show you a little way that you can slow your horse down and get your horse with you without having to pull back onto reins and stop your horse. Because what happens a lot of times is that can actually make your horse want to go even more. And then they get more impulsive, which is the opposite, because they feel like we're holding them back, we're restraining them. It's like somebody telling you to calm down when you're really upset. It like makes you really angry and even more frustrated, right? So with that in mind, if your horse goes faster than you want, say you're trotting along and they go to canter off, I can just slowly bend my horse into a little circle and then move his hip around. Granted, I want to do this very slowly. I don't want to cause my horse to get off balance with this at all. So my hands are moving very slowly. I'm just going to bend my horse on down. And same thing if you're, say, on a trail ride and you just want to walk and have a nice relaxing trail ride. And your horse is trying to trot off, you can slowly bend your horse around, move their hip around, as long as you're in a safe environment where you're not on a hill or a slick surface. You can bend your horse around and use that kind of as your way of saying, that wasn't the right answer, let's try again. And you'll find that your horse is able to settle into his gait a lot better. I use this with Bridger quite a bit, just to get him thinking back to me. Now, why does the bending work? So if I'm bending my horse around and moving his hip around, how is that better than me pulling back with 2 reins and backing my horse up? How is that better? Well, it does 2 things. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to bend your horse. So that's suppling my horse. That's going to help get his mind back on me, versus me pulling back on 2 reins. That actually engages the hindquarters. So what this does, is it gives more power to the hindquarters, which means they have more power to take off forward. So that's why, as horsemen, we are always encouraged to use that 1 rein when we can, because it helps soften your horse and it bends your horse, gets them thinking back to you. So with this, I'm very careful to not micromanage my horse. I'm going to give my horse the rein. I have my reins in a California roll because they're quite long. And I put my hand down. It's short enough that I can pick up on it, but I'm not in my horse's mouth. That's very important. And so I'm teaching him to rate himself and learn how to go that nice, comfortable speed. This also works if you're like a little bit unconfident at the trot and you want to teach your horse how to do a nice trot that's easy for you to ride and not something that's really rushy and forward. It's good for your horse, and it helps you get a nice speed that's easier to ride as well. And I really thought I had it this last time going around, and then he spooked. And no free spooks in my arena, so I yielded his hindquarters around. That's my way of just saying no, that's not the right answer. You earned yourself a little extra work, but I'm not getting mean or mad here. I'm just bending him around, and same thing, it also supples him. And that last time he came around was exactly what I was looking for. I had my hand in the mane, and he had a nice trot. It wasn't rushing. I didn't feel like he was trying to canter on me, so I stopped and gave him a rub. Well, I hope that helps you get your horse to settle in and connect with you more and not take off. Till next time, keep it simple and keep it savvy.